Hello and welcome to Violent Money TV. My name is Kyle Diamond. My guest for this episode is Mr. Will Fleury, who will be fighting for the very first time in the PFL, PFL 8, next Saturday in Cardiff, Wales at the Motorpoint Arena as part of their European expansion and qualifiers to see who will make it into the regular season. If you're not familiar with Will, he has a record of 10-3. He is the current UAE Middleweight Champion. However, he is going to be looking to compete at the light heavyweights. He also formerly fought in Bellator for 6 fights, so you might be familiar with him from there. Trained at SBG Ireland with the likes of Johnny Walker and all of those guys, so really great camp, and really excited to see what he can do in the PFL as we talk about the tournament and how that all happened for him and just how incredible this opportunity is. Without further ado, Mr. Will Fleury. So I feel like we should start with the obvious, which was yesterday the last hard spar before, because otherwise, mate, you're going to show up looking like you've already been through the fight.
Yeah, well, it went a lot better than it looks like it went anyway. I would say you should see the other guy, but they look grand. I look fucked, and it went pretty well anyway. That's the main thing.
Yeah. So we're just over a week out now, so it's getting almost there. How are you feeling about the fight, the PFL debut and everything? I think it's such a cool opportunity, man. So
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like, look, it's a huge opportunity, and I suppose excitement is the main thing I'm feeling right now, and just the awareness of the opportunity that is there if you go in and smash this, and then just that kind of buzz of you owe it to yourself to go in and put on this performance, because I've worked so fucking hard for this opportunity for the last few years. Now it's finally here. Time is right. It's just like, okay, go, show what you are.
yeah. It very much feels like just literally through having a scroll through your record, because I couldn't remember off the top of my head where you've been fighting since the Bellator run, and it is literally Will Fleury has gloves, will travel, like just fights over here, fights over there. So do you feel like, I mean, fingers crossed that if this fight goes well, and obviously PFL are really committed now to Europe, does this feel like this could be a new kind of a longer term position for you to stay with the PFL and kind of find a home here?
Yeah. So this is a qualifier. Win this fight, I'm in the light heavyweight tournament next season. So win the fight and then get into that tournament and win the $1 million. That's the plan. So yeah, this, if everything goes when I smash this lad, get in, smash, keep winning, win the $1 million.
Simple as. How much have you been able to watch any of the PFL stuff? Because obviously it's only really this season where it's been easy to watch for people over in the UK. With it being on, I don't know how easy it is for you to watch over in Ireland, but for me in the UK, for in England rather, Channel 4, it couldn't be any easier, really.
Yeah, we have a Channel 4 here as well. If you have any of the cable packs, Sky or anything, you have the same shit you have basically. But previous to this year, so Miles Price, an Irish guy, was fighting on it this season. So I watched all of his stuff. I kind of would have followed it without watching that much of it, if you get me.
Yeah.
Well, recently, since there was I saw that the guy who I beat last for the middleweight belt in UAE Warriors got signed. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, well, what the fuck? Why am I not signed by these lads? Because I know they're paying well. And then I got onto my management, and there was a little bit back and forth. But basically, since that's happened, I started watching a lot more of the fights. And in fairness, they have a lot of their fights up on YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've been following them a lot more for the last 2-3 months, say.
When did it kind of become actually an option that this was going to happen for you? You said about how you spoke to your manager and tried to make it happen, but how long ago was this actually on the cards that you were going to be able to fight?
About 6 weeks ago, I think.
Right.
I just got contacted saying that they were willing. Before this, it was always, they're only interested in light heavyweights. Do you want to be a light heavyweight? My answer was always kind of, no, I'm a middleweight. I've always been a middleweight. But then it became a thing of, well, they'll get you a fight against middleweight, and you'll then have time to go up to light heavyweight.
Right.
And then the chance of winning £1 million was was like, okay, yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Pretty good hand to play if you're trying to convince someone to sign for you.
Really quick can sweeten a deal pretty quickly,
Yeah, man. How's life at SBG at the moment? I saw on your Instagram you've been getting some 5-5s in with Johnny Walker. That must be obviously an incredibly valuable training partner for you to have, especially with the light heavyweight thing coming up. But also I would imagine those training sessions are would be a good watch for people from the outside.
Yeah, like look, having Johnny there is class because you have somebody to kind of measure yourself off of. And like, there's a guy who's ranked in the UFC, and like we've been training together pretty consistently now for about nearly 4 years. So I feel like he's grown a shitload as an athlete in the meantime, and I've probably gotten a lot better. Like dealing with somebody who's that explosive and that athletic, like it presents a lot of, you have to like figure out a way of like you enter at the right time, otherwise you're fucked,
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely feel like I've benefited massively from that. But like in fairness, we have a lot of really good big guys at the moment. It wasn't always that way. When I first came up here, we had some okay big guys and the standard was all right. And we never really lacked numbers that way. But we maybe lacked like real high level quality. Whereas now, like there's myself, there's Carl Moore, there's Johnny Walker, there's a young guy called Mohammed who's coming up as well. He's only still fighting amateur, but he's really, really good. So between the four of us, any day you want a high level guy, there's somebody there, you know what I mean? And they all kind of unique, like, Carl would be very like pressure based and like his striking's quite good and he's good at entering. Whereas Johnny's much more like half a moment. You give him a second, you turn off for a sec. He's very explosive. Muhammad is much more like technical, grappling wise. Like, so there's a lot of different styles and there's a lot of different problems presented. And then it's like, are you, you're all constantly adapting and like you're constantly developing a game to get around that. So I feel like the training for the last like year and a half, 2 years has been really good.
You've got there's a teammate of yours on the same card, right? The name has escaped me. Yeah, Nathan, yeah. So that must help as well, that it always felt that way with SBG. Obviously having the links with Bellator, it always felt like that. Like kind of the gym was always gearing up for the same kind of stuff together. So obviously that must help as well, having someone who's heading for the same direction.
Yeah, it's cool. But throughout my career, man, like, you referenced there at the start, like I go anywhere and fight anyone. Like I went down to South Africa by myself. I've, gone anywhere in the world basically where I could. Like, I think it was like at one stage it was South Africa, Jordan, Rome, fucking and nobody else from SBG was on any of these cards. And then it became a thing like when I got signed with Bellator and they started doing all the Dublin shows, you were fighting in Dublin every 6 months and it was like your whole team was on the card basically. But I'm pretty used to just not having people there as well. So it's great. Like as in I kind of enjoy both in different ways because fighting in Dublin, the atmosphere is incredible. You get huge fan support. Like the Irish are so good, man. As in anytime, you're on a card and you're at home, it's just waves and walls of support. And like even walking around the city weeks before the fight, everybody knows you're fighting. It's a big, it's weird how much fucking genuine support you get here. But like being out in the middle of nowhere as well, it's a cool buzz and you get to see things and you get to travel the world a little bit while you fight. Now, I know Cardiff isn't exactly the fucking, it's not the first place you're planning to go if you're going on sightseeing, but like, it's still, I've never actually really spent time there. So I'm kind of excited to get over and see it and see a little bit more of the world. Like,
yeah. I mean, I suppose the hope is that they've got Cardiff and then they've got London after. But once the European series starts to become a thing where the whole card is based around that and stuff, then hopefully, I'm sure that any promotion looking at breaking in to this area, they've got to take one look at the Ireland cards that all, like you said, they always go crazy for the cards there. Like that's got to be on the list for soon, I would imagine, especially because I feel like half of the European roster is Irish. Like they really have gone in on that. Like you said, with Miles being in this season and stuff like that. Like I would imagine that Dublin can't be far away on their schedule.
I really hope so because I think they'll be vulnerable. Like I don't think they'll be disappointed if they come to Dublin. And I don't like Irish people get behind their own. Always, we're incredibly good at that. You look at any time we make the World Cup or anything like that. you know, half the country is over there. We're
Yeah.
good at supporting people. We're very like supportive of our own athletes. So like you book something here, you make it a thing, people will come and people will be very up for it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
so especially look, they have somebody here who's high quality. If I go in, smash this lad, finish the guy, you know, get a couple of wins in the regular season, and then they're thinking like, oh, we'll do playoffs there over somewhere. Come to Dublin, do a playoff fight, have me as top of the bill. You fucking see what happens, man. It's going to be incredible. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I suppose the other positive with having you on the bill is that they know that it could be Dublin, it could be another continent, the opposite side of the world. They know your track record. You'll be there, whether it's on your own, whether it's with the rest of the gang, you know. So
well,
they
like,
could go anywhere in the world.
anywhere because I'm used to going anywhere. But like, if it's a choice between going
Yeah.
to fucking middle of nowhere or you know, the Middle East or whatever, or staying in Dublin, yeah, I'll fucking stay in Dublin any day of the week. Yeah, thanks. But look, I'm willing to go anywhere. Is what I mean. Like,
Yeah, I mean, again, like we already said, that 1 million prize that they can kind of dangle in front of you.
you know, you want me to go for that grand? I'll go. Like,
Yeah,
no
suddenly Antarctica doesn't seem so bad when you chuck a million next to it, you know. Will, thank you so much for your time, mate. All the best for next week. We're going to be there covering it and stuff, so it should be a great event, man. And all the best.
Cheers. Thank you very much, man.
Cheers, mate. See you later. Thank you for checking out this episode. Please be sure to subscribe to VMTV across all our platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff, because we're going to be covering these PFL events in the UK very closely. Obviously Cardiff on Saturday and then London following that not too long after. Should both be great events. Will be fighting in Cardiff as long as some other European fighters as well, which should be a great event. Make sure you catch it on Channel 4. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.